Welcome to Soul, a weekly entertainment show on fashion, arts and culture, food, relationships, and mental health. Our weekly co-hosts are Dr. Delvena Thomas, Imani Warren, and Chef Irie. Now introducing our host, Miss Nicky Gelin.
Hey. Hey, y'all. So it's your girl. I am Nicky G, also known as Nicky Says YOLO. And welcome to another episode of MIA Magazine Presents. So hope you're having a great Wednesday. Hope you're having a great week. And I want to give a shout out to our sponsors. So a big shout out to the Florida Lottery and also Duke and Dame Whiskey. So y'all, last weekend was a fun, packed, filled, busy weekend. And I had the opportunity and the privilege to host the Boss Babes of South Florida Honorees Brunch. So it's a brunch where they recognize the top 7 influential Boss Babes of South Florida and also the Trailblazer Boss Babe of South Florida. So shout out to Karina Melissa. Here is a recap of how everything went down. There's no audio. Hopefully you guys can hear this, but this is the actual brunch. So a lot of honorees were recognized for their entrepreneurial skills and giving back to South Florida. Shamara Garcia was recognized. Mother Caviar was recognized. Veronique as well. Wanda, the owner of or the founder of La Union Suite as well. So it was a great brunch. And again, it was put together by the board from the Boss Babes of South Florida. So it's a great organization. And they always recognize the top talent, entrepreneurial women within South Florida. So great success, applaud all around. Now, Jazz in the Gardens, y'all, it's here, okay? It is here. And I am so honored to be one of their influencers. So Jazz in the Gardens officially kicks off on Friday with the women's luncheon, okay? So now the lineup for Saturday and Sunday, you can see it right here. It's going to be Mary J., her, the Isley Brothers, Rick Ross, SWV, The Roots with special guest T-Pain, Stokely, Jonathan McReynolds, Mike Phillips, Mark Allen Felton, and also hosted by the none other Ricky Smiley. So now the women's luncheon kicks off this Friday. We can just show that slide. And it's going to be hosted by none other Yolanda Adams, okay? So singer, producer, actress, entrepreneur, and philanthropist, Yolanda Adams, also alongside with Natasha Main, who's also a host and attorney and all-around businesswoman. And also, I want to add to that, a stylista. And also, Friday is opening night. So with opening night, of course, a fly guy will be there, along with Jay Tight, and a few other DJs as well. So it's going to be a great event this weekend. It kicks off on Friday. Tickets are still available for the women's luncheon and also for the event on Saturday and Sunday. Now, that being said, we are doing it. Oh, wait, one more thing. So y'all see him right there, right? That is Rick Ross. Yes, we got Rick Ross. So Rick Ross will be performing as well. Aaliyah, we can go back to the Rick Ross slide. So he'll be performing as well. And, we're so honored to have him as the cover for MIA Magazine. So congratulations to MIA Magazine for having Rich Forever on the cover. So we'll see y'all on Saturday and Sunday. And we are giving away 2 sets of tickets to 2 lucky winners if you answer these 2 questions correctly, okay? So we're giving away 2 tickets for Saturday and 2 tickets for Sunday. Now, the first question is this. What is hers real name and what does it stand for? Leave your answers in the comments. We're going to be checking. So leave your answers in the comment box. So again, the first question is, what is hers real name and what does it stand for? That's question number 1. Number 2, what part of New York is Mary J. Blige from? That's pretty easy, y'all. I mean, yeah, that's pretty easy. Okay. So what part of New York is Mary J. Blige from? So again, answer in the comments, and 2 lucky winners will win a set of tickets for Saturday and for Sunday. So now we have 2 special featured guests tonight. Our first guest, they're from the Deep Fried Funk Band. So they'll be a part of the lineup for Jazz in the Gardens this weekend. And also I'll be interviewing 2 women who founded Melanin and Lilly, which creates a space for Black women in high-end preppy fashion. So stay tuned. Now, on to my first co-host, Dr. Alma, aka Delvena. She's our board-certified psychiatrist and also the founder of the Brain Love podcast. So, Dr. Alma, how are you? Happy Hump Wednesday.
Hi, Nikki. Happy Hump Wednesday. Are you ready to take the couch?
Yes, girl. I'm ready for you anytime.
Hey, this is going to be a fun segment, somewhat a little bit challenging because I'm going to bring up a little bit of history. As everyone knows, March is Women's History Month, and yesterday was International Women's Day. And so I just wanted to mention a couple of things before I come to my conclusion, which is a fun part of my segment tonight, because today is also the 25th anniversary of the death of the notorious B.I.G. Biggie Smalls. So, yes, 25 years ago today, on March 9th, Biggie Smalls was murdered. And so that is not fun. However, we do appreciate the gifts that he brought to our culture and to the game of hip hop. So I was saving that part for the end, but that's okay. We'll bring it back. But first, I want to talk about this lady right here. This is Fannie Lou Hamer. And you may be wondering, okay, you're supposed to be talking about mental health and relationships, Dr. Delvena. Well, this is very important to our mental health and wellness because, as I said, this month is Women's History Month. Fannie Lou Hamer was a civil rights activist, a voting rights activist, and also a philanthropist. She is from Mississippi, which is my family's home state. Fannie Lou Hamer did so many things during the civil rights movement, but she's also known for a saying, which was, I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired. Mm-hmm. And the other thing that Fannie Lou Hamer, is known for, unfortunately, is that in 1961, she was involuntarily sterilized. She underwent a hysterectomy that she did not give a consent to. So I'm mentioning this because for Black folks, when it comes to things like being trusting of the system, being trusting of the medical system, the government, Fannie Lou Hamer was not the only woman that this occurred. There were thousands of women. There were between 100,000 to 150,000 women who were subjected to involuntary sterilization during the 1960s to the 1970s. There was a big case in 1973 during which 2 young girls ages 12 and 14 were involuntarily had undergone a hysterectomy. Their mother did not know anything about what was going on. And this was a program that was ran by the government. So people know about the Tuskegee experiment. People know about some of the other little, things that went down. Psychiatrists and psychologists who used to refer to runaway slaves, they gave us a disorder and said that we were crazy because we no longer wanted to be enslaved. So I just wanted to share that history about Fannie Lou Hamer and the other thousands and thousands of women who have undergone hysterectomies without their consent, which were involuntary. So we have come a long way. Women's History Month and also International Women's Day that was on yesterday. We have to know that we need more gender equality. We have to get rid of sexism and gender bias because these things weigh on our mental health. They weigh on our mental wellness. Darn it. So I wanted to share a video also by Miss Hamer. Continue to rest in peace. So I wanted to share a video, but those videos are not available, from Kenya, to give a shout out for International Women's Day. Kazuri is a company that's located in Nairobi. Kazuri was started in the 1970s to help women in Kenya. It is a place where they make handmade beads. We know that Kenya is known for the beadwork that they have all over the country. Every culture, every village, every place in Kenya, they have their own different type and quality of beads. Some beads are made from glass. Some beads are made from other types of materials. But Kazuri is located in Nairobi. It was started in 1975. It's a tiny workshop that makes handmade beads. And I bought some of those beads. Unfortunately, I'm not wearing them today. Maybe next week I'll have them on. But they created this brand and they created this company to give back to the single women in Kenya, the women who were struggling. So it provides employment, paid employment. They work Monday through Friday. They make these beads. They make pottery. They make many different things. And so, and believe it or not, it was started by a woman who's from England, a white woman from England. So this just shows you how global women are and how we come to one another's rescue. So that's why I wanted to give a shout out to Kazuri. Look them up at Kazuri, Kazuri. Those are Kenyan beads. And before we get out of here, Nikki, any questions about anything that I just mentioned?
No questions. I had no idea about the history of the I forgot the name, the woman that you just spoke about previously.
Yeah.
I forgot her name, but I was not aware of that. Like, I was aware of the Tuskegee men and those experiments, but not as far as the hysterectomy with women. It wasn't something I was aware of. So thanks for bringing that to light. Yeah.
Absolutely. Fannie Lou Hamer. Yesterday, I wore a T-shirt with her picture and her statement, "I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired," because she stood up for Black folks and for rights, civil rights in Mississippi and all over the South. She was very vocal. And so she was unable to bear any children because of being forced to undergo this hysterectomy. And as I stated, thousands of, and I said women, most of these women were Black, poor women. And some of them were children. As I indicated, those two young girls were 12 and 14. No. That is an official court case that went to court, and the judge who presided over that case realized through all the research that up to 150,000 women, Black women, poor women, have been subjected to these involuntary hysterectomies. And this was a government-ran program. So government ran. I'm not sharing this to cause more skepticism in our community. I just want us to know our history and just to be aware of the women who have gone through the struggle, who have done so many things to push us ahead. And Fannie Lou Hamer is one of those women. So for Women's History Month, never, ever forget Fannie Lou Hamer.
Thank you for that. Thanks for that education.
So just a couple of seconds of one of the best to ever do it out here. Oops. Right when I curse word came, I had to go ahead and put pause. But music is nostalgic, is music therapy. This album dropped in September 1994. I was a freshman in college. I'm sure everyone has a story about this album because it was a game changer. But Nikki, I will not delay you on the couch any longer. Thank you so much. Say brain love.
Brain love. All right. So Dr. Amma, we'll see you next week.
Yes, you will.
And now on to my next co-host. She is our arts and culture connoisseur. She knows everything that is happening right here within South Florida, and she's here to educate us about that. So Imani Latifa, hello.
Nicky says hello. Biggie Smalls is the illest. Oh my gosh. No, I have to give a special shout out to Dr. Alma Delvena because we were reminiscing behind the scenes about how that album was so impactful for, if you came out in 94 in college. So yeah, shout out to her for bringing it up, and especially the Fannie Lou Hamer. That's so imperative and important. So I actually had the honor and pleasure of doing some really cool stuff this past weekend. Of course, you know, when it comes to the art and culture, the film world is so important. So I had the opportunity to kind of do some collaboration with Amazon, and I watched a film, and we're going to show the trailer first. It is called Master, and in the honor of Women's History Month, it was directed by a Black woman. Her name is Marima Diallo. And Miss Aaliyah, please run the trailer. Thank you. So, thank you so much for Aaliyah. So, I had the honor and privilege. I don't want to give the film away, but I'm hoping that within your busy schedule, I actually saw the film twice. I seen it at the film festival this past weekend. And for everything that has happened with Black women in America, especially in academia, especially in institutional spaces, and everybody can relate to this, the film is a must-see. And I'm trying to say it without giving it away, but I had to kind of equip myself, but to speak with the director, and I just have like a quick 30-second clip because I spoke to her for 8 minutes, but this is it right here.
How are you feeling? How are you feeling after this masterpiece? Let's just talk about that before we get into this, Miss Diallo.
Thank you so much for being here with me.
Yes.
How do I feel?
Really low.
I feel excited.
Okay.
And anxious and ready to
Anyway, but to just kind of, it's kind of low, but that's okay. I want to encourage people to see this film. There's going to be another screening. It comes out March the 18th. Please support her. This is her first film. She is a dynamic sister. This is kind of based off of her time spent at Yale and being in those, I know the sister went to Yale, right? You know, Ivy League all the way. But I was kind of with her all weekend. So I seen the film at home. I had to watch it in the dark to see, you know, I had to get that vibe. You know what I'm saying? I know it's crazy. But it really just speaks about like how us as women, especially Black women in America, have gone through our stories can somewhat be horror stories. This is not like one of those gruesome, bloody, like Saw type of vibes, but it's psychological. And so I encourage people to see it so we can have some dialogue behind it. And that is kind of my word. You know, I didn't want to take up too much of your time. We're going to have another screening, but support this sister, support this film. And that's my word right there, Nikki. I hope I will see you like that.
No, I have to go. I'm gonna like them and Get Out.
Yes, but it's yes and no. It's kind of like I'm trying not to give it away, but it's kind of like okay, it's kind of like The Shining meets Candyman. I know, right? Sis is dope. Sis is dope. And then like the fact of talking to her, you think people are going to be a certain way, but she's a sister girl who just happens to be a director. And to see her film get green light, that is an honor. So I have to say happy Women's History Month, happy Black History Women's Month. And thank you so much, Nikki.
All right, I'll see you at the screening.
All right.
All right, have a good night.
Thank you.
Now on to my next co-host. He is a private and personal chef. He's also the host on American Public Television with Taste the Island. So Chef Irie.
What's going on, Nicky?
Wagwan.
Everything is everything, darling. And happy hump day Wednesday to you, love. Salute.
Same to you.
Yes.
Salute.
Yes, you know, I have to have a little libations to end the day. So what's going on? Everything good? Ready for jazz this weekend?
Everything, Irie. Yes, I am ready for jazz. I'm kicking off Friday all the way through Sunday. I'm ready.
Well, good for you. Yeah, I think I'm going to miss most of the festivities this weekend. So, hey, what can I say? You know, client stuff and all that good stuff. But hey, it's all good. You know, big shout out to all the people who are going, and I hope you guys enjoy. You know, we'll see. So what are we talking about? You know, big ups and shout outs, you know, this year to, you know, right now. So it's, you know, Women's Month. So I want to give a shout out to Black women farmers, you know, women who are out there tilling the soil. Some of them even make it look sexy too. But you know what? Guess what? I just got to say, farming is tough. Okay? Farming
is hard work. But before I even mention any of the people that I want to talk about, most of them I probably I didn't know about any of these women, but to understand one that I said earlier, farming is tough. But when it comes to the Black perspective, we know that our farms over the years have been taken away from us. Not just our farms, the land, in terms of what we own as farmers here in the United States. So between the last 100 years, there was close to 1 million Black farmers between 1910 and here, and currently there's only 45,000, a little just over 45,000, almost 46,000 Black farmers in the United States, and not many of those are female farmers. And one of the things that I mentioned earlier is that a lot of the land for farmers, Black farmers, was taken away in different ways, different forms. And the discrimination and racism that exists in the farming society today is hugely prevalent. So being Black, being woman, when it comes across the board, that's tough all across. Everybody always experiences difficulties. So these women, first is Leah Penniman, and she runs a farm in upstate New York called Soul Fire Farms. And the beauty of this farm is that it's not just about the food that she produces, but it's about who comes to that farm throughout the year. We got young people, and this is one of the things that's kind of a thread, for most of the people, some of the people mentioned, is that they're opening opportunities for younger people to experience what it means to be a farmer, much less a Black farmer, and to introduce them to the different things about farming and farming life. So when they open up, their programs throughout the year, they have kids that are coming through and learning, what it means to connect, to Mother Earth. So that's Leah Penniman, upstate New York, Soul Fire Farms. So our next person we have is Samantha Fox, and she's out of Winston-Salem, North Carolina. Mother's Finest Family Urban Farms. Now, when you think about farms, everybody's always thinking, the massive amount of land space, 100 acres, 200 acres. Well, Penniman, the farm earlier, she's farming on 72 acres. Well, Miss Samantha Fox and her family, they're farming on 2.5 acres, right? And so farming, doesn't, as long as you got a plot of land, you're gonna be farming. So she farms bees, of course. She's the produce and vegetables. They also do herbs, and they also do different types of syrups, elderberry, different things. But they divest the whole farming aspect to be inclusive of family. And her big thing was she left Chicago because she wanted to preserve the health and safety of her Black son. She's like, no, I'm not going to have my son go out like that. I'm going to leave, because Chicago is a rough place to live, just like other big urban cities, New York. She's like, I'm not going to let my young son go out like that, my young king. So I'm going to come and go back to my roots, and so that's what she does, and she's out of Winston-Salem. Mother's Finest Family Urban Farms. Wow. The young lady, her name is Angelique Taylor, and she collaborated with this young man, David Ritchie, and they're up in Tallahassee, Florida. Smarter by Nature, and they're very young. They're in their early 30s, 29, 30, 31, around there. And he went to Florida State. I think they both went to out of Florida State or FAMU. He went to Florida State. I'm not sure if she went to Florida State or FAMU, but they started this entrepreneur aspect back in, I think, 2016, 2017, thereabouts. And, they started on borrowed land, and doing their thing. And they finally got to procure themselves land space. And so they sell, produce and farm and sell to not just the local community, but to local restaurants. They've gotten to the point now where they can sell to local restaurants. So when you see a lot of these farmers, they have very humble beginnings. Farmers market, they're selling bottles at farmers market, whether it's candles, this, that, and the other, they're selling it. And oftentimes you often wonder, where did that stuff come from? Well, oftentimes, this is how, a lot of the farming here starts for, especially the younger generation of people that are involved in farming. Angelique Taylor, Smarter by Nature, Tallahassee, Florida. And right out, so now we got Drew Van Hoos. I think of Drew Van Hoos. So when you think of farming, everybody thinks, potatoes, corn, blah, 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 blah. Well, Miss Van Hoos is a hemp farmer. And so that is farming. Yes, you need land space, you need arable land space to do this, and you need, sometimes, a decent amount of land space to do it. Now, people think, I get a land space, I plant some hemp seeds grow, but it doesn't work that way. So you have to have, in the United States, you have to have a license to grow hemp, whether it's grow hemp, marijuana, all that good stuff. You need a license, and those licenses are not easy to come by. And so not only is she a Black female farmer, but she's a Black female farmer that's licensed to grow hemp. And of course, challenges are always, when it comes to farming, and people are always expecting you to fail, and realizing how much capital it actually takes to grow hemp, probably more so than regular farm products. It takes a lot of capital to grow hemp, or even and marijuana and all that good stuff, because of the way those plants grow, how you have to tend to them, the manual labor aspect of it is huge. So shout outs to Black farmers. There's some here in South Florida that I wanted to highlight. I may do that actually next week, because we're still in Women's Month. And one of the things that I really want to do is to start visiting some of these farms to do some video aspect of what farmers go through in their day-to-day lives, but to also highlight our Black farmers. And shout out, I say once again, to our women and our Black female farmers.
Hey, Chef, really quickly. So our guest tonight with Melanin and Lilly, Andrea, she said, small world. I went to school with Angelique. So there's a connection.
Look at that.
I wanted to share that. Yes.
Yeah, wonderful. Yeah. So, get your hands up, go get your hands dirty, Nicky. Plant some stuff. I know you got a lot of plants. Over there.
Yes, I'll have the gloves ready.
Yeah, because you be putting them damn things in the back of your seat with seatbelt. I seen you.
How you gonna call me out like that?
Hey, look here, man. You gotta protect the plants, baby. Protect the plants.
Yes, I double seatbelt my plants to make sure that they stay intact. All right. So well, Chef, thank you so much. And we're looking forward to when you plan that dinner. So keep us posted.
I will. Dinners with Chef Irie. Look out for it.
Yes. All right. So we'll see you tomorrow with Flavors of South Florida.
Yes.
Tomorrow night, 7 p.m.
Yes, ma'am.
Awesome. All right, Chef. So thank you so much. And we shall see you next week. Okay. And I want to shout out Trisha Lewis. I saw that you answered the questions to the giveaway. So for those of y'all just tuning in, we are giving away 2 sets of tickets for Jazz in the Gardens, one for Saturday and one for Sunday. So there are 2 questions you got to answer. Leave your answers in the comment box. But the first question is, what is hers real name and what does it stand for? And what part of New York is Mary J. Blige from? So put your answer in the comment box and the winner will be announced really, really soon. So now on to our first co-host. So South Florida's own Deep Fried Funk Band and Big D and the band joined the 15th annual Jazz in the Gardens Festival lineup. So I'll be speaking to drummer David Jody Hill, So Jody Hill, how are you doing tonight? How's your Wednesday?
Wednesday is perfect. How was your Wednesday?
You know, I am blessed and I'm happy to be alive another day.
Awesome. Awesome. That's great. That's great. That's great. That's great.
Yeah. So congratulations on being a
Mhm.
part of the Jazz in the Gardens lineup. So how'd the group come about? And I'm curious about the name Deep Fried Funk Band.
You know, we get asked that question like a million times. And briefly, I'm just gonna share how that all came about.
I see that.
So we about 20 years ago, we used to do a poetry spot in Miami, and I was helping a colleague out, just playing drums. We had nothing else to do, so I was helping him out. But he took the playing very seriously because he wanted to start a band. So he said, "Hey Jody, hey man, we should look for a name for a band." So the audience was giving out names. So he said, "Hey man, we're looking for a name of a band," and say, so they was putting all kind of names out. Chicken and biscuits, da da da. And somebody said deep fried funk, and then still till today, nobody know whoever said it. So if you're out there, you want credit. And then we brand the name, and my whole vision was to get a group of musicians that can display musical talents from different genres of music. So we do a lot of private events, corporate events, productional events like Jazz in the Gardens, and things of that nature. So we put on more of production. So it's just not somebody just coming and singing. Um, um, People are being featured, and I give opportunities to different up and coming artists because Betty Wright, the late Betty Wright, gave me my opportunity. I used to play with Betty. She's the reason why I got nominated for 3 Grammys because she believed in me. When somebody told me what I couldn't do, then she believed in me, and the same person that told me he wasn't going to use me ended up being my best friend, and I got nominated for 3 Grammys. So that's
Congratulations on that.
it's
Yeah.
I love, I tell people all the time, I love what I do. I love the band. We're a family. So we come like we're going to a family reunion. And what I'm saying, so we just have fun.
So what kind of sounds can we expect?
So it's just like um uh gumbo. You throw some things in the pot and you'd be like, ooh, mwah, ooh, and then you be like, excuse me, but it'd be like, and then you start getting to it and like, and you start, so it just adds in, just keep adding in, and then, but you don't want to put too much in it, and then you just give the people just enough to understand who Deep Fried Funk Band is.
Okay. And what day is the band taking stage?
We take a stage on March 12th, which is, I'm sorry, March
Sunday.
13th, Sunday.
Okay.
And I got a lot of friends will be there. Mike Phillips, my friend, Rick Ross, and it's going to be Isley Brothers. I got a couple of friends of mine that plays with Isley and them, so it's going to be great to catch up not only with friends but to display music from outside Deep Fried Funk Band, the Miami way, the South Florida way. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I'll be there Sunday as well. So
Make sure we see each other.
I'm gonna make sure we see each other. Okay, I'm gonna make sure we taking selfies together. Okay.
So that day, I have 3 people that being featured outside with Deep Fried Funk Band. Briella, which is a part of the band. Gio Wire from Richmond Heights, Paran, Florida. And then I have a new group, background singers called JM Squared. So they're backing up everybody, but they're presenting this. I'm presenting them as the new artist on the street that I'm managing.
Nice. Looking forward to it. So
It's
Jody,
gonna be fun.
it's gonna be real lit because Jazz in the Gardens, because of the pandemic,
Mhm.
2020 and 2021, they were on hiatus. So this is like the first time they're back after 2 years. So it's going to be really, really a big deal. So
2019, Betty Wright said, that's like my mom. She was like my mom. And she said, Jody, I'm coming to see you. And this show, she's not here. So this show is dedicated to her. You know what I mean? So
yeah, no, of course, definitely. Yes, Betty Wright, this is dedicated to you. Okay. To you, definitely. So
thank you.
Jody, thank you so much. And I'll see you on Sunday. I'm going to see you on Sunday.
Hey, don't let me see you on Sunday and see what happened. I know where you stay. I know where you work at.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much. And
No
I'll
problem.
see you soon. All right.
God bless you.
Bye.
Take care. Bye-bye.
God bless you too. And y'all, just to let you know, if you're just now tuning in, we are giving away tickets for Jazz in the Gardens going down this weekend, going down Saturday and Sunday. So you have to answer 2 questions for 2 tickets on Saturday and another set of tickets on Sunday. So the first question is, what is hers real name and what does it stand for? Okay. Second question is, what part of New York is Mary J. Blige from? So leave your answers in the comments, in the comment box, and we'll be announcing the winners really, really soon. Okay. You're going to be winning tickets for Jazz in the Gardens. Now on to our last featured guest. So Melanin and Lilly creates a space for Black women in high-end preppy fashion. So Ciera and Andrea, thank you so much for being our featured guest tonight. I have a whole bunch of questions. I love fashion. And just the whole like Lilly brand did not even like, it didn't even like come into my mind. So this is a platform that you built. I'm so curious. I'm so excited. And I'm super interested. So thank you so much. How's your Wednesday going?
It's going great. It's such an honor to be on your show tonight. I've been so tuned in. Like, this has been great. Just sitting back listening. So we're definitely excited to be with you tonight. And I'll let Ciera also say something.
Thank you. And Ciera, you're on mute right now, Ciera. You're on mute. Yeah. So unmute your mic.
It seems like she's delayed. I think she's lagging over there because she's like shaking her head.
Okay, all right. So there you go. There you go.
So,
okay.
I'm so sorry. But I'm just echoing off of Andrea. Yeah, this is extremely a pleasure, especially being from Broward County and seeing, the influence of Miami in the conversation in Florida. It's been an eye-opener. So just thank you for allowing us to be on this platform.
Yeah, definitely. So tell myself and our audience a little bit about your background. So Andrea, we'll start with you first.
Okay, cool. So I'm Andrea. I'm originally from Michigan. I attended Florida A&M for undergrad. That's where I met Ciera. I don't know if you want us to talk about now how we met, or we can just introduce ourselves first, and then we can talk about how we met, because that's an interesting story.
That's nice.
I am an environmental scientist. I attended the University of Michigan for my master's degree in public health. We're really focusing on environmental quality and health, environmental racism and justice, and food justice. I am now finishing up my PhD at FAMU in environmental science, where I met Angelique, who was featured by Chef Irie earlier in the show. So I'm also a mom, I'm a wife, I'm an entrepreneur, I'm a blogger, content creator. So Melanin and Lilly is definitely an outlet for me, and Ciera is my bestie, and I'll let her introduce herself now.
Girl, you're just busy. All right.
Oh, she's the busy one, and she's the extrovert to my introvertness. But I too attended FAMU. I graduated from the School of Journalism in 2016. I received my master's at Florida State. I'm currently a digital media coordinator. So although I'm in the world of marketing, putting myself out on platforms is still new to me. And that's why I piggyback off of Andrea a lot. She has made me grow so much in myself of doing things like this. But yes, that's just a little bit about me.
So how did you both meet? That's what I want to know.
Long story short, we lived in the same dorm. It was like the first or second Saturday of school. I didn't know how to work the laundry machine. And so a later mutual friend of ours offered to help me work the laundry machine, and Ciera was with her, and we just kind of started small talk. I was not talking to that Ciera. The other girl's name is Ciera too. It's very confusing. But anyway, Ciera did not want to be my friend. The other girl wanted to be my friend, and we ended up going to a football game together, and we've been stuck ever since. We are also line sisters. We're both members of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated, the Beta Alpha chapters where we are initiated at FAMU. So that's kind of like what drew us to Lilly was the colors of preppiness are pink and green. And at the time of when we were getting ready to graduate, take our pictures, Lilly had this pink and green print with pineapples. That was just it. It was just it. Like we were fighting over who was going to be able to wear it in their grad pictures. And like we had a few Lilly items prior to that, but that was really like what made us take our dive into Lilly Pulitzer. And in 2020, I think 2019, Ciera had sent me a random text like before a sale that Lilly was having. She was like, I want to start a blog, a Instagram page for Black women wearing Lilly. And I was like, okay, like, let's just do it. And of course, like we went back and forth overthinking, we put it off. And in July of 2020, we went ahead and launched. It was like, the height of the pandemic, the height of social unrest. And it was a really good outlet for us. We really didn't know like exactly what we wanted Melanin Lilly to become or what it would look like, but we just like dove in and we just started trying to find different Black women that were wearing the brand to kind of like hold space for them within the brand, even though it's like, we're just Andrea and Ciera, like, what does us doing this mean? But it's like been really great to see how far and how much we've grown a true like community. A lot of members of the Melanin Lilly community, as we call it a sisterhood. We've had people call it a Lilly sorority. Like it's just been really great, like forming a camaraderie within a clothing brand. Like who would have thought that like there was so much camaraderie to be built, or even like the impact of us, like just two girls creating an Instagram page. Like the messages that we get are just like so humbling that women like hold, so much worth in what we've created and what we thought would just be an Instagram page. So yeah.
And I just my next question is like, why the need? And for me, like I love fashion, but I just never saw a lot of melanin women wearing Lilly. It's just because based on my experience, I feel as if the brand never really spoke to us as far as their marketing campaigns or as far as their messaging. So it's like, so why the need? And have you noticed that there are a lot of melanin women who is wearing Lilly? So why the need behind it?
I apologize if you hear my dogs in the background, but I think the reason we created it is because there are a lot of women, especially melanated women of color that wear it. But because we would go on, blogs or influencers pages and we wouldn't see that reflected, we were just like, we have to create this. Knowing that I'm spending my money on something, knowing that I go on the street and I'm getting tons of compliments, but sometimes marketing wise, I didn't feel or see the reflection, but I knew that there was other people like my mom and my sisters and my friends that would wear it. I was like, we have to create this community.
Yeah, definitely.
And I'm sorry, but I did want to add that there's actually a Lilly sponsored conference that happens annually that hasn't happened due to the pandemic since 2019. That's actually founded by a Black woman, Tasha Williams, who attended at HBCU as well. She attended Spelman College, and she's a member of Delta Sigma Theta. Like it's like we exist, like, and that's what we wanted to show with Melanin and Lilly, is that like we do have buying power, we do exist, and we look good in it. Like we're, you know, Black women have always been trendsetters in fashion, and like that's just really what we wanted to show here and showcase within Melanin and Lilly. So yeah.
So what has like Lilly's, or what has like the brand's reaction been to Melanin and Lilly? Have they reciprocated it?
So we have noticed different changes as far as like their use of like a wider range of diverse influencers, as well as models in print. And then we were recognized by Melanin and Lilly was recognized by Lilly Pulitzer last month, and featured on their Instagram page as well as their website, with what they call a sunshine spotlight, to basically honor us for the community that we've created in Melanin and Lilly. So what we really hope to create is like a one of a kind partnership with the brand, to really kind of act as diversity and inclusion outreach, community niche engagement, whatever that looks like. You know, it's not something that exists. So, you know, whatever, all the words, like we want to be that. And this is something that can be copied and pasted to other brands, as it's something that's definitely needed. Like we spend our money with brands, we love brands, and we want to feel included, and we want to feel as though our dollars are valued. So we're definitely using Melanin and Lilly as an opportunity for brands to take the opportunity.
So one of our viewers, Alvarine Della Hey, she goes, "We are preppy." Ali, if you can just show that on the screen. But she goes, "We were preppy way before Lilly. The Blacks of Martha's Vineyard was way preppy.
Yes.
Caribbean and Africa has been preppy. Lilly is not new to us." Okay, Alvarine.
Yes. Yes, and I am definitely a vineyard girl for the summer. So I definitely love giving all of those looks on the vineyard. And that's one of the places that like we see a lot of the women in our community like meeting up during the summer. So yeah, we would love to have meetups on the vineyard.
I think that's great because, like what I said, like prior to me even learning about your platform, Lilly was just not even on my radar because I felt like they weren't really speaking to me with their brand. But now that you are bringing awareness to it, now I'm interested. Like, I'm like, all right, let me check them out. And I love colors. I love both.
Yes,
I mean,
and the colors really pop. They really pop on your skin.
So not because of what you brought to the table, not because of your awakening and bringing more awareness to the brand within, you know, the Black women community. Now I'm interested. So thank you for that. And, you know, Lilly should definitely applaud you as well for bringing more awareness to the Black community, in particular women. So yes. So wait, Michelle Ralston, she writes, "Lilly needs a partnership because they are not diverse at all." So, okay, Michelle, well, that's why Melanin and Lilly is here to help the brand, you know, diversify and just cater more to us. Like, you know, talk more to us and let us know that, yeah, we can wear the brand. It's not just a certain audience or demographic that wear that brand, but we also do wear that brand as well. So hopefully with your platform and with your passion behind it and loving the brand and the colors, we'll see more impact as far as them talking to us more.
Right.
So let's see here. So wait, Aaliyah writes, by the way, okay, gotcha. Okay, I'll announce it at the end, Aaliyah. Okay, so what is next for Melanin and Lilly? What's next?
We're kind of riding the wave. We're riding the wave. We'll see. So we're gonna start showing our face more. We've really been focusing on uplifting our community. You rarely see us ever post ourselves on the page. And so we're gonna be like showing ourselves more, doing try-ons to give different looks on different sizes. Me and Ciera are different sizes, but like, you know, doing the whole thing where different people of different builds and things like that wear the same item to kind of give a better profile of how things fit and things like that. We hope to kind of start doing some more like content creation at different Black events and things like that. So we'll see. We'll see what happens next.
Very exciting. No, and when I think of like the brand, I just think of like colors. Like to me, it's like springy. It's like springy summer. Like
yes,
that's
Resort 365.
Right. That's all I think of. And girl, them colors be popping on our skin. Okay. So the
Yes.
yellows, the pinks, the greens, it be popping on our melanin. So they need to recognize that. Okay. So okay.
And that is very much reflected on our Instagram page. So if you get a chance, definitely check out our Instagram page. There's tons of Lilly colors popping on melanin.
Awesome. Awesome. So what would you tell your younger selves, and how old would you be? Anybody can go first.
I'll go first. I would tell my younger self that everything that you have on your mind to do is definitely achievable. And I think that I would be 16. I think I would be 16. At 16, I was trying to figure out what I was going to major in and all of that stuff. I was also a local title holder with Miss America. Like I just had all these different things going on, and I was trying to figure out how or what exactly I wanted to be. And like now I'm doing all of these things, and it's very well possible. And I wish that I kind of would have started working on all of these things earlier on instead of kind of siloing myself, because I feel like I could, be excelling more and excelling farther in all of these things.
Wow. Okay. And Ciera?
I would probably tell my younger self that on the opposite side of fear is a successful me. And I would probably be 4 years old. At 4 years old, my parents put me in cheerleading, and I told them, I don't want people looking at me. And ever since then, I have always been thrown in front of the spotlight and trying to figure out how to handle the spotlight, especially with Melanin and Lilly and Andrea saying, oh, we're going to start posting ourselves more. Like that to me is so scary, but I'm finding out there's so much success, like meeting women from, different communities, different states. If I've never took this chance to create Melanin Lilly with Andrea, I never would have had this great life of connecting with people. So yeah, just making sure that although it may be fearful, there's success on the other side.
And shout out to your parents for pushing you into cheerleading.
They did. I said no, though. I was 4 years old. I was like, no, thank you.
But you had to do it anyways.
I know. They're like, okay, not cheerleading, but we'll put you in swimming and we're going to put you in track. I'm like, fine.
You're going to do something. Yeah. And then the thing is we have to be comfortable with being uncomfortable.
Yes.
So if you're uncomfortable, you have to do more of it to make it comfortable. So no, well, thank you so much. Super excited. And just thank you so much for bringing awareness to our community, because we do have buying power. We're very fashionable, and like bold colors just look good on us, period. So, okay. Okay. Well, thanks again, ladies. And have a great night. We'll see you soon.
Thank you so much for having us.
Thank you so much.
Bye. And y'all, so earlier today, I announced that we were giving away tickets for Jazz in the Gardens, and there was 2 questions that had to be answered. And I'm happy to announce the winners right now. So the winners are Trisha and Alvarine. Congratulations. They answered the questions. So if the both of you, if you can just leave your email address in the comments, and we can also DM you as well. So leave your email address in the comments and we'll DM you on how to retrieve your tickets. And the answer was this. So what is hers real name and what does it stand for? So hers real name is Gabriela Sarmiento Wilson, and hers stands for Having Everything Revealed. And what part of New York is Mary J. Blige from? And she's from the Bronx, New York. So congratulations, Trisha and Alvarine. We'll see you on Saturday and Sunday. And y'all, so Now, tomorrow we have 2 shows. We have Lunch with Legacy Leaders with Anne-Marie Serral. That goes live at 12 p.m. And also Flavor of South Florida with none other Chef Irie at 7 p.m. So you can stream it live on Facebook and YouTube and LinkedIn. So to stream live on Facebook, just visit MIA Media GRP. Again, just visit Facebook, MIA Media GRP. And everyone, thank you so much for being our audience tonight. Have a great Wednesday night, and we'll see you next week.